One of the reasons that Ohr Somayach was able to stay open was because in some way they were considered to be one big home. And I definitely felt that that definition of a home was fulfilled, because every day that someone needed looking after, because they were in isolation, people were jumping at the opportunity to help them, to do what they could for them.
Personally, I felt the coronavirus hit in a sense close to home because I was in quarantine for 2 weeks, me and a bunch of other guys in my program, and being in quarantine and having everyone care for you, bring you food and bring you snacks even when they don't have to, going out and buying you stuff whenever you ask for them. It just feels a warm sense of we're all in this together and we're all going to help each other.
You saw people kind of taking on roles that may have not taken on before. There was opportunities that we wouldn't have had during a normal period to help one another out, be it physically, emotionally, in many different ways. People running errands for one another. In particular, on Erev Shabbos, there was a group of Bachrim that went and went shopping for these Bachrim that were in quarantine for 2 weeks, so that they could have a Gishmak Shabbos even while they were in quarantine. So they bought challahs for them and bought wine for them, and just tried to uplift them in whatever ways that they could. It was really very, very touching to see that.
Yeah, there's a constant dilemma. To what extent should the Rabbeim be in the yeshiva, and to what extent they should be away from the yeshiva, so they shouldn't be at risk of spreading the disease. The feeling was constantly that we want to try to make sure that we can make it work. We wouldn't want the students to be left by themselves in the yeshiva without being able to be enriched from what the Rabbeim and the staff members are able to offer them.
Originally, when the shiurim were given over Zoom, it was very difficult to stay focused and to put in the effort to be in shiur. So when the restrictions were loosened, and then the Rebbeim, thank God, were able to come in, albeit with masks, and to be socially distant, it was a blessing. And I think everyone felt that new appreciation that they didn't have before, that after not being able to have shiur and have the Rebbe in front of you, that now that we were zocheh to have it again, it was an incredible feeling.
Now, perhaps what's been most inspirational for me is the behavior of some of the boys which are not in yeshiva at the moment. Some boys which went home for Pesach and at the moment sort of stuck in the USA or in Canada and South Africa and Australia, and how they've continued their learning and their connection to the yeshiva despite being so far. So every morning and every afternoon we have chavusas going on from the USA, from Canada and South Africa, into Eretz Yisrael, into Israel, into Yerushalayim, through the phone or through Skype. And in shiur every day, they're connecting to the shiur. So we set up shiurim in the afternoon, so for the time zone, so they could connect and they could join an afternoon shiur. But surprisingly, almost to my astonishment, a number of them said, we want to go to the regular daily shiur. And so they decided to wake up early and come to the 12 o'clock shiur. So we have boys getting up at 4:30 in the USA, and that's their own decision, because we are doing a shiur at 6 o'clock for them. But many of them chose to get up at 4:30 in the morning and be in shiur ready at 5 o'clock, 5 a.m., hear the shiur, and after the shiur go into daven shachris, which is really quite incredible.
There's a lot of resilience from the students just to combat the challenges that are at hand. I see just a growth in myself, let alone my friends, to take the yoke on even more so, because it's been challenging and it's been auspicious. It's been a very bittersweet time, and there's a great sense of unity and togetherness and a brotherhood. In a strange way, it's been a very special time for all of us.